Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 3 of Black Lightning season 4. Last episode, again, Jefferson continues to go just spiraling out of control with his rage, with his frustration, with his guilt, depression, and everything of the sort. So I'm really curious to see how this is all going to prevail and where this is going to go from this point. So Gambi has been working on this side project because, as we know, this new regime in the Freeland Police Department is not only targeting the gangs, but also targeting and ramping up their forces to handle meta threats. And even possibly not even threats, just metas in general. And have been invested in by this corporation who is putting out these upgraded weapons for them that Gambi is trying to. He happens to know or have an old spark with one of the people in charge of that company, and he's weaseling his way in there, using his charming wiles to get on the inside. I assume to sabotage those efforts, or just to sabotage those efforts or try to figure out how to counter them, maybe. Either way, I do actually kind of feel bad about that because it definitely seems to be something there between those two, that history, and it does feel like he's definitely using this woman. Starting to feel bad, but it depends on how this all goes. Maybe she ends up being a villain or something like that. Maybe that would make me feel better about it, but I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. Lynn, of course, is just diving further. I like how these sessions that we're getting in therapy, in this couples therapy that Jefferson and Lynn are going to, because we see now that they're doing individual sessions as well as their couple sessions. You get to hear their personal sides without the other one being there and them filtering themselves. And like, there's some sad revelations in there where the therapist tells Jefferson what he's feeling is quite natural, and he says this line like, natural. That's a word I've never heard from my wife, and that is just, that hurts, man. That's not a good, that's definitely got to be a bad feeling right there if that's the case. And then on the other side, you have Lynn, who pretty much, we're learning, kind of gets all of her self-worth purely from her family and her work. Because the therapist asks her a question, what are your hobbies? What do you do what do you enjoy? And she's like, nothing really. I mean, just my work. And I was like, I've got no friends. Like, that's one thing. Apparently, Lynn's having trouble relating to Jefferson because she doesn't really have anybody outside of her family close to her. So she doesn't necessarily know how to help him. She doesn't have her own friends, have her own hobbies outside of work and her family. She's defined herself by her work and her family. And and that work has led her into her addictions with the green light, and then now with this testing of these meta powers on herself, because I think at this point, and we see it evidenced in this episode, that she's using those powers to enhance her lack of powers and a lack of fitting in with the father figure of her kids, who is a meta. Her kids are metas, and she's the powerless person in this family dynamic. And if the only two things she cares about is her work and her family, she's trying to fulfill that void, that because she doesn't know how to interact with them. She doesn't know how to relate to them, and she doesn't know how to help them because she's powerless in a lot of these situations. So she's compensating through this testing, and it's a really interesting dynamic. And we're seeing some parallels between her addiction to her powers and Jennifer's addiction to avoiding just the responsibilities of life and just giving herself wholly 100% to her powers. Of course, Nissa is dealing with this fallout from Grace and everything going on there. Is made a friend within their facility, started going out and actually having fun. Of course, the things going on in Freeland just kind of ruin that a lot of the time. So I'm curious to see where all these things are going to go. Of course, whatever Tobias is up to, whatever the 100 and the Cobras are up to, where that's going to go. I do think I saw something that maybe kind of spoiled, just because I didn't think about it. Like, the show was out, and I didn't think about going on Twitter because you don't see a lot of people post about this show particularly, which in and of itself is a little sad. I know I'm going off for a long time before actually getting to the reaction, but I think I know one major thing that happens into this that I can infer from a post that I got. Maybe I'm wrong, but I guess we'll see. Guys, remember, full-length, unedited reactions are available on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel at the champion level, you get access to that. So let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Here we go. Chapter 3, Despite All My Rage. This has to be a dream. Oh, that's sweet, though. He made him dinner.
What have you done with my family?
Oh, they're safe with me. Fret not. Oh, Jeff.
Is this a dream or is this happening? This can't be happening, man. Gosh, Tobias is so fucking good as a villain, man.
Jeff, sit your weak ass down. Dinner served.
Oh my god, dude.
Maybe your rage will kill your whole damn family. That's cold. Kind of like this turkey leg.
It's always the same dream.
Okay. Okay. Thought so. So did he open up to her that he's Black Lightning? Or does she think he's pretending or dreaming that he's Black Lightning?
Stop deflecting and tell me what it means.
I can't be the man that I was. He thought he could change the world. I can't live with the decisions that I made being him. Without him, I don't know who I am.
So I'm confused. Does she know that he's Black Lightning?
Oh, Freeman putting in best right now. Them IT got come through.
Or no?
Come through, OG.
Oh, you all done good, Devontae. My man's is good.
That's the guy who lost his kid last episode.
I got you. We got locked down in the office just like you asked.
Explain yourself or we gonna play a little game. Go a trip to crib.
I was just protecting your interests, man. The kid was just collateral damage. It was nothing personal. Wait.
Ugh. Oh.
Take out the trash. Take out the trash.
Oh, you can see her heart pumping. Oh.
Have you lost your mind?
I think I understand physics, and I'm using them to heal, no sparks. I want to understand Jen's rate of recovery. I won't be caught flat-footed again, Jen.
You're not like us. Okay, so what happens when your observations go too far? 10 years ago, you asked me to stop being Black Lightning. I did. Hypocrisy looks good on you.
I'll stop when you put the suit back on.
Ooh.
Pity party.
No, what you don't understand.
Ooh.
So you want to be a weekend warrior? Suit yourself. I want no part of it.
God, Chris Williams is so fucking good, man.
Welcome to the Larson Line. I'm Rebecca Larson. Tonight we have a special.
That was a jarring transition.
I hope this exclusive video shared with us by a concerned citizen will provide transparency into the damage superheroes wreak across Freeland.
There's no such damn thing as superhero insurance.
This lethal.
There needs to be.
Keep telling you, if you trained a little more, you have more control. Less property damage.
Says the woman who leaves giant cracks in the street just by landing dramatically. You can just walk. Vanessa.
You know what? Never mind.
You know what? It's bad enough I'm arguing with your father. I don't want to hear it from you two.
By lethal lightning.
It's not funny, Anissa.
Wait until you see the playground I've built inside.
Just what have you got inside?
The stuff that dreams are made.
Gambi.
This facility is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's amazing.
Can I be honest for a minute? I love James Remar, I do, but he is, I don't know if it's just the show, his age or what have you, but this is easily the worst I've ever seen him act, is just him in the show. And I love Gambi, but like, he always just seems like he's reading off a paper compared to everybody else in the show.
They're capable of punching a hole through a tank or safely neutralizing a carjacker. The ultimate peacekeeper tech.
So it's scalable. George Floyd. Oh.
You know, I'm moonlighting as a bouncer and occupational hazard. Hey, I won though.
It's a good excuse. I don't know if you... I feel bad for him, man. I really do.
Please, can you give me a sign? Let me know we have a future together. No, no.
Oh, I don't think that was the side she bent. Uh-oh, she's shifting. Oh, how's this gonna go wrong?
That face means someone's in trouble where you need my
Hey!
Freeland deserves to know the truth. I'm about to give it to him.
Ah, man, I don't trust Jen going out and doing something that delicate.
If meta hate like hers spreads, it's gonna make all of our lives more dangerous.
She's got a point.
Please. All right, fine. Jeff and the girls, they have all these shared moments and experiences. Like my brother John and our parents. Jeff told me, you don't belong. You're not one of us.
Just be you. Say it aloud. Own it.
I love the Jon Stewart references, man. Though, with all that being connected now... Well, how's that going to go? We know how it's going to go. Diggle. Diggle's our Jon Stewart. But yeah. Or is he? He better be. Oh no, Jeff.
Mr. P? Nah, this ain't for you. Nah, yo, Mr. P.
If he was anyone else, I would drop your black ass right now. But since we got history, fight.
Maybe this is a great place for him to let out his frustrations. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. It masks his identity too. He can lightening up in here. Oh shit, here we go, gang. Here we go.
Mayor Black. So
I don't know why. I thought this was a fucking commercial for a second.
Your kids will be moving on up to a private school in Metropolis where they'll finally get a
Metropolis. People were talking about this not referencing the rest of the Arrowverse. Well, fuck off.
You're my electric queen. Kid, I need you to show the public what really happened, okay?
I'll post you saving all those people if I can get a selfie of me giving you a kiss.
Please don't push your luck.
Oh, okay. Just a selfie then. A selfie with the kid you'll save will go viral.
PR department.
You follow me back, okay?
Follow for follow. He tried. He tried.
I've set it at its lowest setting.
Lowest setting.
I'm a professional.
Lowest setting, stun my ass.
That's not good for Black Lightning.
That's not good for anyone.
What? Alright, fucking A. Alright, let's do this. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I can't remember. Does Lala know? I forget. He did it without getting all shocky, you might say. That was quite the shocking victory.
Lala cheated. That's your money.
First month's rent.
When you're ready to talk to child services, let me know. I'll put in a good word. Please do me a favor. No more fighting. Your kids need a dad. This house will take good care of you and your family. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Is your father inviting me for dinner tonight?
What are you gonna wear tonight?
Oh,
Really,
just the
though?
dress. Your father's not the only one that can make grand gestures.
Yeah, and it's definitely not Jeff.
I helped someone, Gambi. Me, Jefferson Pierce, and it felt great.
But you can't just stop being Black Lightning.
Why not? I stopped being Jefferson Pierce. Look where that got me.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, you can start by being happy for me. I've been sulking for over a year. It's time I try to make things right with Lynn.
Okay, so maybe he did do it. Okay. All right, never mind then. Fuck me.
Your party awaits if you would follow me.
Dr. Stewart.
Yeah, okay. Fuck me. Never
Do me
mind.
the honor of joining me for dinner.
Jeff was going to make up, but he didn't send the flowers. Somebody beat him to the punch.
Girl, don't act like I don't know you. Or would you
Mm.
rather find people to freely know about your family's extracurricular activities?
God fucking damn it, man.
There are other geneticists in the world.
None like you. You're the best. And I'm willing to pay for the best. Just imagine all the good that could be accomplished.
This is playing in. This is playing into exactly what her therapist said.
What I need is your superpower, Lynn. What I need is you. To just be you.
Oh my God. The echoing.
While we die.
So good.
Garçon,
That is some fucking
menus, please.
good writing right there. That loop back, that's just how you get right in there. And Jefferson's coming home and she's gone, fucking heck, god damn it. Why? The flowers that he didn't send. Oh, it was written to be vague, so you would assume it's Jeff. So he reads it and thinks it's Lynn. Oh, fuck.
Absorbing that much power has to have some type of consequence, Jen.
I'm fine. I know my limits.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Her particles separated. She's gonna just become energy again. Watch her breach into another universe. With this being the final season, I hope this gets a happy ending.
You are the love of my life.
I pronounce you two wed. Surprise me a kiss.
That's a very lovely dress.
Oh no, don't end like that. No, fuck you, fuck. I just in these first 3 episodes, I have been so much more invested in what's going on than the last 2 seasons. Oh, dude, Jefferson in the fight arena knew that had to come up. As soon as they introduced that ring in the beginning, I should have saw that coming. I definitely, especially once the teacher got involved. Jefferson was definitely, I mean, he was already trying to kind of keep an eye on the guy, and then I like that though. Like he got something out of that. I mean, he definitely was doing something irresponsible and like crazy, but yeah, he told Gambi he helped somebody, but not as Black Lightning, as himself, and that was something I mean, he's always been kind of doing that though. Like, especially as a principal, is changing people. Like, he's had an influence on so many kids' lives. Like, sure, some of them still end up on the wrong side of things. It's just how life goes. But like, you see, like his influence, like he has like respect in the community down to people like Lala. It's like Jefferson Pierce, detached from Black Lightning, has always been a positive influence on Freeland. I just don't, maybe because he's never seen any immediate gratification from that he's not really associating Jefferson Pierce with anything positive, and that he's never really brought about anything like that. I don't know. Is this am I missing something there, or does that make sense? We didn't see, and then the loop back from Lynn's session to focusing on herself. Stop trying to force yourself into these things. You that's just not you. Be you. You know, your brain, your intelligence, your fields of focus, the things that you are passionate about. Stop trying to force yourself into this. Like, your family has their connections. She's got her own thing to contribute, and she doesn't have to try to force herself into a group. And then he's like, just focus on you. Be yourself. I am me, whatever. Boom, call back to Tobias coming in and looping and twisting that same thing to get what he wants out of Lynn, and playing all the right notes that therapist was echoing at the just, ooh, that some fucking good writing right there. I like that a lot. Oh my God. I really like this episode in general. I do feel bad about what I said about Gambi though, assuming I left that in the edit. If I didn't, just to reiterate here, as much as I love James Remar and I love Gambi and his position in this, and it's been a while since I've seen the first couple of seasons. Like, of course, we've been on this long break. We've been away from this for a while, but I kind of feel like, especially from season 3, at least from what I can remember most recently, and especially a lot this season, James Remar might be the weakest actor in this show. And that's not to say James Remar is a bad actor, because he has been great in a lot of things that I've seen him in. But I don't know if there's something that's changed, or something behind the scenes. Maybe he's just in this for the paycheck at this point. I don't know, but it just, every line he says anymore really just sounds like he's reading it off a card. Like, it just, I don't know. Am I the only one feeling like that? Does anybody else feel like that? Go back and watch some of his scenes and see if you kind of pick up on what I'm kind of saying here. Of course, these guns by this company that put out was like, oh, don't worry, it's fine. It'll be safe for people, for normal people. You know, it's got a stun setting. But that stun setting, as we learn, as he got one of these guns out of that facility so he could test it in his own lab, on its lowest fucking setting, would nuke someone's chest open. Like, if he shot a normal person, not that suit with it, they'd have a crater in their chest. They gotta know that, right? What's going on here? Is his gal pal in the know in this, or is somebody else who's actually building these things doing that? Is she just saying that to Gambi because you know, it's the right thing, it's the PR thing to do to kind of keep it on the down low? Because, like I kind of said in the beginning, like, yeah, with that, their proprietary power source, with this whole thing, I was like saying in the beginning, I was like, maybe she'll, because I feel bad, but maybe in the end she'll be a villain, even though her items or what they're creating are meant to be used for good, are going to be used for villainy. But now we learn there's actually something innately wrong with them. It definitely seems like maybe there's something under that. And I might not feel so bad about Gambi using her at this point. We'll see. We got to see where that's all coming from. The Grace storyline panned out. So nothing to worry about after last episode, though it was very weird, some of the way they kind of paralleled with, I can't remember the guy's name, the new guy, Darius. like the conversations they had about kind of equating the situation with Grace with putting down a dog. And I was like, I don't like how that conversation is going. But thankfully, Grace wakes up. Hopefully, with this being the final season, that doesn't turn tail and turn into something terrible. I want a happy ending for everybody in the show. And man, I got emotional in the scene where Jefferson, after the cage match, is talking to, I don't remember the uh, faculty member's name. I can't remember. When he lets him into his old home, like where he grew up with his father, and here you have a place to stay. Here's the money from the winnings. Your kids need you. I'll put in a word to social services. We'll get your kids back. Oh man, I teared up really bad. I teared up pretty hardcore right there. Playing into false narratives with the Jennifer storyline, which also just goes to show that she's just kind of like, she probably could have handled that situation better. Of course, like Nissa said, channeling her powers and focusing them better, more accurately, honing them rather than just letting out her raw power. Like, she'd be able to control her own narrative if she was able to control her powers better, causing less collateral damage. But I like the little callback. It was like, yeah, but you think you just show up and you crack the entire street. You could just walk onto the end of the field. You don't have to jump down all dramatic. I like that. That was so funny. But yeah, that's playing back into the excess of, she's getting caught up in being Lightning. She's losing sight of who Jennifer is. She's losing sight of herself, and she's going on kind of like Lynn. Again, somebody called out in the comments that there's a parallel between Lynn and Jennifer's stories. And then, of course, TC being back, kind of being the counterpoint to that. I was like, you can't always control what people think. What social media will do what social media do. And he helps her, though, find the unedited footage so that she can try to clear her name. Of course, she's got a social media presence now, and we'll see how that whole narrative plays out and how this is received. Because they could turn, I'm sure there's a way that can be flipped back on her too, because they kind of set that up. But with her continually going up into the atmosphere and absorbing this energy, I like, though, that Lynn does have a point in that conversation with Jefferson in the bathroom when she's practicing Lightning's power. She needs to understand it to try to help them in some way she can. Again, that could be her just forcing herself into these situations where she's just not really meant to be, but she's got a point. Like, she did like leaps and loads for like the meta whole gene thing, the green light, the creation of metas. Like, she pioneered that whole thing in seasons 2 through 3. So like, she's tied into that too. So that does focus into what she's passionate about. And I get where she's going with that. Like, it both connects to her work and to her family in a way that I don't think Jefferson's necessarily seen. And I'm not one to always be on Lynn's side because I haven't really aligned with her in a while, but I could see her point of view a lot more now. And I do think that she does have the best of intentions, at least at this point. I think before, like, it was getting a little out of hand. But I think right now we're going on I think this therapy's helping, to be honest, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, going back to Jen, she's overloading her cells. She's getting too much power. TC calls her on that. We don't know what's going to happen if you keep absorbing this. It's got to have some kind of negative effect. And her arm just splits apart into energy. She becomes intangible. She starts losing physical form. And we've kind of seen her go into that limit before, especially when she's had bullets pass through her. And then she ended up phasing through the bridges between the universes as she encountered alternate versions of herself in the multiverse, because her powers allow her to break through those barriers. What if, maybe, I don't think they'll do that in this, but especially with it being the final season, to have her reopen the multiverse. She would be the character that I could see do that. But I don't know if they'll go that route. I think that'd be too much beyond the show, and I think it might downplay this as far as being the final season of this show. Who knows? It could echo out and have repercussions into the greater Arrowverse, since we also had another call out to Metropolis in this. The call out, of course, to Lynn's brother, John Stewart, which originally was just kind of a throwaway nod on before this show was brought into the universe collective with the other shows. It was just kind of a nod to the greater DC universe, and originally before they merged into Earth Prime, Superman was just a comic book character. It wasn't real in their universe. Metropolis wasn't real in their universe. And you had allusions to Green Lantern, her brother possibly being one of the Green Lanterns, John Stewart. And then, of course, on the Arrow side of things, you had this whole thing with John Diggle, his stepfather's last name is Stewart. And he had this whole relationship dynamic. He ended up getting this green item at the end of the series and all that, and set up this separate one. It creates an interesting dynamic now that those are both in the same universe, but we kind of know where it's going to go now with Diggle's character, considering how Arrow ended, him getting the ring, and him coming back for a 5-part crossover in these upcoming seasons. Like, he should show up. I can't remember if he's slated to appear on Black Lightning. I don't think that's one of the shows he's going to be on. I can't remember though. I know he's supposed to be in an episode of Supergirl. He's supposed to be in an episode of The Flash, Superman and Lois. Yeah, it's Black. He's not going to be on Black Lightning, which is disappointing. I would really like to see them interact more than we actually saw in Crisis, because they really only got that nod on the Wave Rider. But we'll have John Diggle showing up for Batwoman, Supergirl, Superman and Lois, The Flash, and then finally Legends of Tomorrow with his surprise role that he's playing on that show, which I think will be the reveal of him in the Green Lantern suit. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, coming back to this, I don't know where this is going to go with Jefferson. He's completely okay with having the Black Lightning suit destroyed just in one of Gambi's tests. And I just want him to not only try to reconcile with himself, but his family and his dual identities. Like, he's both of these people. He seems to think he can only be one or the other, but he can be both. And right now he's just seeing it as these two separate things, and he just needs to bring them together. And I'm wondering how they'll do that, or if they'll do that. So this potential spoiler I saw on Twitter, I guess, didn't happen. I saw something that made me think that in this episode, Lala was going to die. And that didn't happen. So unless that was maybe from the preview for next episode, might be hinting at that. But I don't watch the promos for post episodes or pre episodes or anything like that, just to keep the reactions fresh. I like going into them blind. So if it is from that, don't confirm it. Just ignore it completely. I probably should have just let it be, but whatever. And then, of course, this Jefferson having this high, having helped this person to, like, you know what? I did that. I did a good as Jefferson. Let's see if I can mend my relationship with Lynn. I'm gonna be Jefferson for once. And that's it. And he goes, and, of course, those flowers were sent seemingly from Jefferson to Lynn. Tobias is just so smart. But if I would imagine, like, he maybe to avoid Jefferson showing up, he probably should have signed it as Jefferson because it wasn't on the card. So then he went and met her, thinking that she left those flowers for him at the restaurant. And now, again, drama. We'll see where that goes. Guys, that's it. I've been rambling. I've been talking a lot about this show so far. So far, this show's really been blowing me away this season. I've been really enjoying it. Batwoman has been really interesting so far, seeing them transition into this new character, but I'm curious to see, but this definitely is blowing it out of the water, and like easily. The writing is on point, the performances across the board are on point. There's things in Batwoman that I really adore, and I'm sorry, like I'm getting stuck saying Black Lightning and then Batwoman, and it's just like my dyslexia is coming out when I'm trying to talk. In Batwoman, you have this whole thing being introduced, and of course, it's just like there's a lot of elements that I do think are working, but like the writing and some of the problems that were structurally issues in the first season seem to still be going on in this one. While there was like a fresh start at the beginning, I'm starting to feel a lot of those same feelings I was feeling last season. I mean, this is completely opposite. I'm feeling like freshly rejuvenated in this season compared to the last two, and I'm on board for this ride, man. Anyway, I can't wait to see how this goes out. I hope this show goes out strong. This family deserves it. The Pierce family is a phenomenal superhero group. The show has been great, and I really hope they get a good send-off in the end. So, guys, what did you think of this episode? Remember, full reaction, unedited reactions are on my Patreon, and here if you become a YouTube member, which one you would rather do if you want to check those out at all. It just helps support the channel, but I wonder what you guys thought about the episode. So sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below so we can carry on the conversation after the video. And other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next episode of Black Lightning or tomorrow in the premiere of Superman and Lois. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.